as a veteran, small business owner, what can we do for you?
What we can all do for all veteran business owners is promote each other.
My main mission was to look at tools and technology to leverage small business and give them more of a competitive advantage.
My mission for Veteran Bargains is very simple: to help vets.
That story in itself, to run for Vista City Council, is a journey.
I think this is an opportunity to really collaborate with those gone before us.
It's really kind of a labor of love.
And now your host.
Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Once again, thank you and welcome to come into our Veterans Radio Show. This is episode 7. Today we're celebrating and continuing actually to celebrate community's heroes in action. And in the back of our show, we have our producer, Michael Wood, and monitoring our comments, we have our very special guest and new program engagement coordinator, Dali Rivera. Today, we will be talking and leading conversation with our one of our very own program coordinators, but also she is a public speaker guru, Shelly Harrison. She is CEO of Luminary Leaders, podcast host and public producer speaker for Speaker Central, director of military speakers and author program here in the Veteran Chamber of Commerce. I mean, I can tell you all kinds of titles that Shelly carries out in their community, but overall, she's an amazing friend of the Veteran Chamber of Commerce. And with further ado, I want to make sure that I give her a nice warm welcome. Shelly?
Good afternoon, Laura. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here.
Thank you, Shelly, for coming, and thank you for taking time out of your Friday to be here with us, and most importantly, to really educate us and educate our community about all the great things that you have going on in with the Veteran Chamber of Commerce, but also behind the scenes with military speakers. But first, I want to take this opportunity to first ask you, how did you, Shelly Harrison, became to be part of the BCC programming? And most importantly, how did you met Joe, military speakers, and the authors programs? How did all that got started?
Yeah. And you know what? I looked back. It was actually in 2018 when I first reached out to Joe looking for speakers to be part of the Veterans Chamber of Commerce for events that they had. And when I was talking with Joe, we actually were communicating on LinkedIn, and we became very, connected. And eventually we had a face-to-face meeting, of course, way before COVID-19. And that's when we just really came together, talked about the program. He knew, what my company was all about, and actually took a very vested interest in what we do. So then the Military Speakers and Authors program was ignited. And here we are today, almost 2 years into it.
That's fabulous. And I know that I've been super curious about, how it all got started and just wanting to know a little bit more about the program. And many folks actually out in the community, when I have shared the program, have inquired about it. So with that, can you tell me about the journey since working with military speakers? What has that been for you as already speaker, master of other programs? What has been your experience with us in the military?
It has been an amazing journey, and I'm just so thankful because I get to talk with people all over the world, and these are veterans, people that are either still active military or, they've kind of gone on and now they're wanting to get into the speaking arena. And the stories that I've heard are just incredible. I hear about when they were in the service serving, and some of them, were in Iraq, and, different scenarios of, what was going on in our world. But the journey that has taken place has been short of magical. I mean, the connection with Joe, he's, very dynamic, and we've really been able to work together to bring even additional services, to other parts of, the Veterans Chamber of Commerce. And this journey will continue. And I enjoy meeting all of the veterans and even military spouses and their children. I've had some, opportunities to connect with families too.
That's wonderful news, and that's really great. I know that, like I mentioned, a lot of folks usually reach out and they ask what the process is like, and they want to find out more about it because it's been pretty popular. And I think you are in the taller stage, perhaps right now, through our programming through the BCC, because you have, developed some really great military connectors who are speaking their story and doing some great work out there. But if I was new today, if I'm listening right now and I want to find out more about military speakers, can you walk me through the process? What would that look like once I submit my inquiry or interest form?
Sure, sure. And like you said, the initial, connection would be to fill out the interest form. And then that comes directly to us. Then we set up a call, usually within the first week of receiving a form. And from there, we have a discussion, a very deep dive discussion about, what they're really looking to do as a military speaker. Some of them have, years of experience speaking. Others, they're just getting started. So it really depends on, what they want to accomplish and what their goals are. With military speakers, we also, we arrange to get them into podcasts or on podcasts similar to this, radio shows, magazine articles. So there's a variety of things that we could do. So really the initial consultation, and then from there, that's where we bring them in as a military speaker or author or both. Some of them are, both author and they're speakers.
That's great to know. And you certainly will probably keep everyone busy through multiple areas of expertise and continue to enhance their skills. Now, given about skills and busyness, you yourself are pretty busy with the Veteran Chamber of Commerce. Can you tell me a little bit about the Inland Empire chapter and your involvement in that particular area? How are you supporting the Veteran Chamber of Commerce in that?
Yes, definitely.
For that community.
Yeah. Well, with the Inland Empire chapter, we just started this. In fact, I had reached out to Joe last year and had a discussion. And I said, you know what, I really would like to bring this platform to the Inland Empire. And we talked about, what that would look like, what the commitment is, and just making sure, what needs to take place to effectively have your own chapter of, in this case, from the Veterans Chamber of Commerce. So I brought my my colleague in, Mark Mays, and I think that he's watching today, I hope. So he and I are co-directors for the Inland Empire Chamber of Commerce, or chapter of the Veterans Chamber of Commerce. And we are looking to do, of course, with COVID-19, we can't do any in-person meetings. So we're really trying to kind of get the process going with, building our, just the whole network that, that we'd like to bring together in terms of city officials, a lot of the people, community people that are in the Corona area, Riverside, really kind of all encompassing of the Inland Empire.
Now, you have some amazing events and activities coming up in that area. Can you tell me a little bit more about July 31st and what is that particular activity going to take place, or what can we expect?
Yes. And we are going to be doing our first event. And I need to give a shout out to Endeavor Mortgage, because they are our sponsor, and we're also working with them on other types of events. But this particular one on July 31st, it is going to be with Stacy O'Byrne. She is one of our speakers, and she's also a veteran. Stacy O'Byrne is going to have a dynamic topic. Go to the link. I want you to check it out, because it's going to be a virtual event, and we're hoping to get a lot of people, but it's a leadership meeting that we're going to be doing monthly. And for now, it's going to be virtual. Eventually, we'd love to do in-person meetings, but this is going to be where Stacy will be sharing. We'll have some city officials that are going to give some updates. We want to have Joe give some updates for the Veterans Chamber of Commerce, but I really want it to be different. I want to make sure that people come there and they leave having just a wow factor, that they really spent good time with us for that, that hour and a half that we're going to be together.
Great. Thank you for that. And definitely we'd hope that, to be able to maybe make a short drive for those that are in their cell area. This is a very short drive, so I might as well invest, especially right now that we're allowed to go back into somewhat of a normal activity flow. it's a great time for us to be able to say maybe perhaps get closer to you, even if it's virtual, just get closer to the Inland Empire and get to know the community, visit and just support some of those. But I want to take this opportunity to give a big shout out to Joseph Martin, who's watching us. It's hello, ladies. Thank you for doing what you do. Dali is also watching us. And so I want to take this opportunity to say hello and acknowledge our audience who is right now watching. And now, Miss Shelly, you are a public speaker guru coming from a huge, line of trajectory. Your career trajectory really overwhelming, not overwhelming, but just very rich in activities that you've done. You've been doing this for a long time. Tell me about your Luminary Leaders company's mission, and what is Luminary Leaders, first of all, and about your mission and how that ties all in with our Veteran Chamber of Commerce mission.
Sure. And really the Luminary Leaders, our mission has been to help as many speakers as we possibly can. We can't represent everyone, because we have, a certain number of clients that we can represent. But I'm always open to conversation with speakers that need some guidance or they just have some questions. And with our company, we try to offer services that, for full representation. And also we have a membership that's going to be launching soon, where people could still be part of Luminary Leaders. This company was started about 7 years ago, and my previous, experience was in the corporate world. So I brought all of that experience, and I have to say that I've also worked with a few mentors and coaches. So that's been, pivotal in kind of where we are today with Luminary Leaders, because we also work with Connected Women of Influence, and we have women lead speakers. So I want to give a shout out to Michelle Bergquist too, the co-founder and CEO of Connected Women of Influence.
Great. Now, your mission as well from Luminary Leaders ties in very well with our Veteran Chamber of Commerce mission, right? We work together cohesively as one to bring in a diverse community and support our Veteran Chamber of Commerce. So it's been a really great opportunity to have you with us and to be here supporting our military leaders, supporting our military speakers, and future authors as well. That you are, of course, identifying in those talents that are hidden. Sometimes, many times, they go, unrecognized because of routine or work experiences, and a lot of people just get just overall with everything. Now, can you tell me a little bit about a particular story from maybe one of your Luminary Leaders that really impacted your mission and really wanted to make you say, "Wow, I really have to continue to do this and expand further"?
I am fortunate that I had the opportunity to meet or work with so many different, military speakers that are they've been so helpful to me because they've kind of expanded my kind of understanding of the military. And a lot of our clients, for example, I know Stacey O'Byrne, she, hopefully she's watching, she's one that has really given me a lot of insight. And in fact, rewind back to about 5-6 years ago, she's the one that told me that, soon you're going to have, just a variety of different speakers that you're representing. And back at that time, we only had a few clients. So we've been, really trying to harness and work with, our clients, and they've supported us. And I've had some clients that, I'm on their workshops and listening to their live events, and I've learned so much because they're transformational people and very high level.
That's great. And, we all have a story to tell. Every life experience needs to be somehow, in a way, sort of told to the community, especially in the military, because there's some really great experiences that others would benefit, whether it's for business development, for career trajectory, or for just personal growth. And I thank you for having this program and bringing it up to the Veteran Chamber of Commerce and creating these military speakers, because I know our community has a lot of great stories to tell, and this is the best way to get it across. Now, if you are just joining us, I want to take this opportunity to recap. We're talking today to founder and CEO of Luminary Leaders. She's also our program coordinator, and chapter leader for the Inland Empire for the Veteran Chamber of Commerce and military speakers and authors. And we're talking to Shelly Harrison. And this particular segment has been sponsored to you by Daily Talks. Thank you to our sponsor. And we are going to continue with Shelly and ask her some more questions, Shelly. But when it comes to business, given that I do have actually quite a bit of contacts that ask me often about starting up a speaker, sort of a career trajectory. From your personal perspective, what does business development as a speaker might look like? And what is some advice that you would give someone who's thinking about it?
Really, you have to look at what it is that you want to accomplish being a speaker. Making sure that, depending on what your expertise is, you want to be sure that you have value to bring. It's a very, there are a lot of speakers out there, thousands of speakers, and, some are really good and some are, need a lot of work. But I would say that it's important to make sure that they have a following, start to build up your social media, making sure that you're putting content out there. Live videos are important. And I also believe that, you have to have, like I said, the content, meaning topics. You have to have, what is the audience going to learn, and how can you differentiate yourself from other speakers out there? And, because there's a lot of noise, and, right now there's virtual events, but we'll come back to live events, hopefully in the very near future, but that could be some time out. But having a bio, you need to make sure that you have a professional bio and review it periodically just to make sure, because things, if you get awards or, you have, things that come up that are really, that help you with your credibility, it's important to make sure that you add that to your bio so that when you're presented in front of a group or an audience, people will know more about you.
That's really great advice, especially because we are, in the business of small businesses, business development. We want to make sure that our future speakers out there have an understanding how to really approach this particular part of their journey or their business journey. Now, Ms. Shelly, if you were to ask yourself or tell yourself something that you know now that you don't know 7 years ago when you launched your Luminary Leaders business, what would that be?
Oh gosh. When I look back and I think what I really wished I would have known then, I think just bringing in a business advisor sooner. I was at a point where it was a very busy time, and I think had I brought on a business advisor sooner, it could have, helped some of the things where it took a little bit longer to put things in place. Now, we have a lot of systems in place, and thankful to my mentors and business advisors that have helped to really, make that happen with me.
That's great. And so now that you are, of course, you're have established company and you have a really great product, how can we get a hold of you, and how can we find you and track you and follow you so we continue to learn from your expertise?
Oh, thank you, Laura. And you can find us at luminaryspeakers.com. So it's not Luminary Leaders, it's luminaryspeakers.com. And then please feel free to follow me on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and we also have business pages for both under Luminary Leaders on LinkedIn and Facebook, and then YouTube as well, because we have a podcast. We just launched our podcast 2 months ago, Speaker Central, and you can watch our episodes, and we interview some dynamic, amazing people with great information.
That's great. Thank you for all of that. And Luminary Speakers, make sure that you are following up with us as well. And you can go straight to the BCC website as well. And we have a link for you to get connected with Shelly so that we can also connect you in the event that you are, trying to figure it out what's the best way. There's a quick shortcut out there for you as well. So Shelly, what's next for Military Speakers and Authors program, and how can here in the Veteran Chamber of Commerce help you reach that goal?
Oh, thank you. And, next is really, I want to be able to offer, our services to veterans across the country. We've we've got a lot of things that we can help and support them with. And I foresee that, this year, even though we're not doing live events, there's still ways that we can help and support our military speakers. So I don't want them to think that, right now it's just not a good time. Right now is a great time to, get things in place, to really, work on your craft and working on your content. So with that, I'd really love to see the military speakers and authors continue to build, and especially with the support of Joe and the Chamber. And it's just a wonderful partnership. And I've really enjoyed this journey.
That's great. And thank you for that. Now, as a small business owner, what can we do to help you and support you as well?
Well, I would think that if there are people out there that are looking to plan an event, if the Chamber is able to just kind of direct us into, those areas, whether it's schools that are looking for speakers, really wherever speakers are needed, just keep a watchful eye out and know that we have a variety of speakers that are ready to go and present for whatever type of event people have going.
That's great. And once again, remind me a little bit more details for those who joined us halfway through the show, that event that we have going on in the Inland Empire on July 31st. If you can tell me a little bit more, and let's recap on that particular event so that we can update our current audience. The leadership meeting. What can we expect on that?
Okay, perfect. So just to kind of recapping on the Inland Empire chapter event that we're doing, it's a leadership meeting. And what we're going to do is have Stacy O'Byrne. She is a former veteran. She's going to be our speaker, and she is very dynamic. I know that if you go to the link that was just put up for Eventbrite, you can actually look at the details. You can see who Stacy is. She will be bringing an amazing topic. And not only that, we're going to bring in some, city officials and community leaders, and we want to get updates from them as well, because we'll still be in this COVID-19, time. So I think it'll be great information that's going to be shared in community and networking. And just, even though it's a virtual event, we're still going to make it very comfortable and so that people feel community and unity.
That's great. So there you go. Save the date, July 31st, right? So make sure that you connect with us, and we'll have all those details in our newsletter as well as on Facebook page as well. Try to promote and help Shelly reach that audience. And I do have a couple questions. One on Facebook, it says, what do you look for in bios? So a military speaker or someone trying to get their side gig, I guess you can say, going, what do you look in bios?
So really, you want to have a short-term bio, one that could be, just basically your title, maybe some of your accomplishments, and one or two paragraphs. And then a long bio is going to be really more in depth. So it's going to talk about your background. It's going to talk about, things that you've accomplished, titles that you hold, and just anything that is going to really show the credibility that you have earned. So even, education could be in the long bio. But I would say that definitely check with a professional for guidance. I know that we have some people that we work with that can help. So, that hopefully then answers that question.
Absolutely. Now, if for a veteran or a military affiliated, a family member wanting to work with you, what are certain amount of public speaking history do they have to do in order for them to join your Luminary Leaders?
And actually, they do not have to have any speaking experience. I've talked with people that are just getting started. We want to make sure that they get, some speaking in, and there are opportunities where we share with them how to go about getting free speaking, or, being in front of an audience. So no, they don't have to have any speaking experience, just to make sure that they have the content that's going to be valuable enough to be able to share on stage.
Great. So I'm hired. You're hired. So, right.
Yeah.
So just come on over and join us, and let's make a beautiful group of military speakers, military spouse speakers, military family children speakers, and everyone, because we all have a story to tell. Now, Shelly, I want to give in on a secret. I know you know this, but everybody else doesn't know that. So on July 3rd, we have a very special guest coming here to our show. And I want to give you this opportunity for you to share what that show will look like.
Yes, and actually, we will have Abby Montez joining us, and he is a veteran, and he is such a dynamic speaker. I know that we were going to actually have his picture come up. So there we go. There's Abby, and he will be sharing on. We're still working on the topic, so I think it's going to be around leadership and just really embracing. Just life, and he's very just so insightful, and he's got a lot of people that he's helped over the years in consulting, and I think he'll be a tremendous guest.
That's great to know. And then also, if I may sort of plug in a little credit, he is part of a military speakers program, right, through the Veteran Chamber.
Yes, he is one of our military speakers and authors.
That's
yes.
Right. So if those of you who are interested in actually meeting a person, an actual live individual who has gone through this program or is working with Shelly on this program, this is a great opportunity for you to be able to actually ask questions, ask him questions, ask Shelly questions, because this is actually all about Abby, but at the same time, it's about highlighting a little bit of that trajectory on how, military speakers has been working for him. So thank you, Shelly. Now, getting ready to wrap it up, is there anything else that you can share with us about your current program, your current activities, anything at all that we can help and further amplify your message with your public speaking?
Well, I thank you. And I would say, definitely if you're curious about the program and you are either a military spouse or a veteran or family of a veteran, please reach out to us and let's have a conversation. I want to thank you, Laura, for, doing what you do, because you do an amazing job with the Veterans Chamber, and you're so quick to get things done and take care of. So I appreciate you. And and I think just the July 31st event, we'd love to, have a nice turnout, and you don't have to be from the Inland Empire to be part of it. So anybody can join us. And again, if you go to the link on Eventbrite, that's where you'll find the details. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Shelly, for that. And, once again, I invite you all who is able to review this particular activity, this episode, this program, however you want to call it, right? We are all United Millennial Talk here for everyone. So if you want to, connect with us, please make sure that you watch the recap, which the entire thing, reshare it with your community, that you like our YouTube channel, you like our Facebook page, and then you reshare with everyone else. And if you know out there someone who has public speaking in their blood and they really want to explore that opportunity, this is the chance. Whether you are a little bit shy or you are a little bit more outgoing like me, or you just don't care, let's just bring you over to military speakers and bring you to the program and connect you with Shelly so that you can actually get a real feel of what it's like to really be out here and make your stories actually come in and make them live to the world and share all that. And with that being said, we're going to get ready to wrap up our episode 7 of this particular Veteran Chamber of Commerce event. But before further ado, I want to just invite you to go back to our Veteran Chamber of Commerce website and make sure that you're connected. And Michael's going to set up right there the link very shortly so that you can come on and find out everything that is going on with the Veteran Chamber of Commerce, all the activities, the programs that we have, all the inclusiveness that we have in our chamber, because this is really all for everyone. We are inclusive for everyone, military families, children, spouses, veterans, everyone. We have and chances are we have a program or we have an activity for you going on. And we welcome businesses and we welcome other community partners who want to team up with us and want to help us develop further reach with our military community. You're welcome to connect with us and really just help us reach more veterans, and together we can reach a much broader audience and be able to help you and support you with your business development. So with that, I want to say thank you and make sure that you join us again next Friday. We have a very special guest as well. And then every Friday after that, from now on, we have all the time our Veteran Chamber of Commerce radio show episodes. Thank you.